Welcome to Chair Yoga. This is a great class if you are not comfortable with coming down to the floor, or maybe you just like to stay in a chair. Maybe you have about 40 minutes in your day. Maybe you're at work. So I offer this class as a chance for you to practice yoga and yoga poses in your chair. So we won't be getting up and down from the chair. We'll stay in it. So let's say you're home with COVID and you're home alone. I would rather you stay in the chair, stay safe. So I welcome you. I have some people here in my live class. I also will have those of you that want to take this at a later time. I offer a chair in the sense that I'd like for you to find a chair around your house that doesn't have sides on it, no arms. That way we can move side to side. We can use different angles and poses. If you've got the back on the chair, that's great. I'd rather you be in a chair than say a stool so that you can lean back. And then go barefoot. Go barefoot so that we can move the joints around in our feet. You can feel the grounding underneath you. If your feet are cold, you might wear socks, but just make sure they have that non-skid so that you don't slide your feet around too much. Thank y'all for being here. Welcome. Sit up nice and tall, roll your shoulders back and lift up through the crown of your head. If you are new to yoga, I welcome you to the practice. It is a discovery of not only yourself, but it's a way for you to notice your breath, your body, the way you feel emotionally. I always find it to be a journey and a season. Sometimes we love it, sometimes we work through it. I invite you to deepen your breath. Maybe close your eyes. And see how it feels to take a breath in through your nose, out through your nose, exhale. See what it feels like to breathe in all directions in your body, north, south, east, and west. You don't have to force the deepest breath you've ever had, so don't worry about that. We always have the capacity to deepen even more. But just notice as you breathe in the way your skin feels. And as you deepen your breath, notice how there is a calming effect. A sense of slowing down time. And a sense of calm. Lift your palms to your chest, prayer hands, Anjali Mudra. Just feel the content of the way that your hands feel as they touch. The way your left hand presses your right and your right hand presses your left. We'll breathe in together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And we'll chant Om together. Inhale fully. Om. Bow your chin towards your chest and release your hands to your legs. Slowly begin to open your eyes and lift your gaze. Thank you so much for being here today. All right, walk up a little from your chair, just so that you're not leaning into the back of your chair, but you're sitting up a little bit taller. I'd even like for your thighs to be slightly off the chair, maybe sit bones and the top part of your thighs resting on your chair comfortably. And then separate your feet as wide as your hips. So you might feel like you're moving your feet in line with the legs of your chair. Sit up nice and tall, hands resting on your legs. And we'll take just a few moments to work up through the shoulders and the head. Bring your right ear over to your right shoulder. And just pause for a moment and notice how that feels. You might feel a pretty big stretch on the left side. Try to draw your left shoulder back slightly. So draw back. Rest your hands comfortably. And maybe close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, begin to notice how you can draw in from your abdomen. I think of it as a hug in. Start to squeeze in on your exhale. And then lift your head up. Notice for a moment. Notice how you feel. These are small movements, nothing major. Bring your left ear over to your left shoulder. Now think to yourself, what side was tighter? Do you feel a little bit more grip on the right side than you did the left? Maybe close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Again, feeling that squeeze and draw as you tone the midline of your body. And then lift your head up. So we'll turn from side to side, and it's going to be a really slow turn. So begin to look over your right shoulder. And this is kind of an odd cue, but I find that it works for a lot of people. As you look over your right shoulder, use your left eye and look a little deeper with your left eye. So concentrate a little bit more into your left eye, the inside of your left eye, and just notice how that will help you turn a little bit more towards the right. And then slightly draw your left shoulder back. And then look forward. And then look over to the left. And as you look to the left, look a little bit deeper with your right eye, the inside of your right eye, and just see how that helps you in this pose. All the while, breathing slow and deep and thoughtful. And then look forward again. Now we're going to look up and down, but this isn't a deep look. So don't aim towards the ceiling. Look ahead of you, maybe up where your wall and your ceiling meet, unless you're outside, and you're going to look a long way. But just lift your chin slightly as if you were exposing your throat a little bit. If we do too much of that, we might squeeze the back of the neck and the artery a little too much. I don't want you to feel dizzy. And then look down towards the floor. And then gaze up, inhale. And gaze down, exhale. One more like that, inhale. And exhale. And then just come up to a neutral position. All right, let's work in the shoulders a little bit. So I want you to think of this as the front of your shoulder, and this is the back of your shoulder. And we'll do a lot of movement up in your shoulder head. So lift your right arm up, asking a question. Maybe wave your hand. Hi. Spread your fingers wide. Lift up a little bit. So I want you to feel like you're even lifting up the side of your body. Keep reaching up. And then take your arm out to the side. When you take your arm out to the side, spread your fingers wide. This is going to be a little bit of work, surprisingly enough. So think of the front of your shoulder and roll the front of your shoulder down, thumb facing down. Feel like you're actually turning. So keep turning your thumb back behind you and then turn all the way up as if you were rolling the front of your shoulder towards the back of your shoulder. Do that a few times. Roll. Almost as if you could hold a teacup in the palm of your hand. And then come back. And feel like you're rolling even your bicep back behind you. One more time. Roll down. And then up. So that was an external and internal rotation of your shoulder. Lift your arm up overhead, palm facing in, and then press down in your right hip, but lift up through your side body. So reach, and then I want you to start to reach over to the left side of the room. Continue to push down, even take your left hand and press it onto your right thigh. Press down through the right thigh, but lift up through the right arm and over. I'm sorry, right hand, left hand to your right thigh. Ooh, breathe. Breathe up into the right rib cage and then exhale over. And then come up and release. Rest your hands on your lap. Never know what a teacher's going to say with left and rights when she's mirroring. So hopefully whatever I'm showing you is the left or the right. All right. Notice how that feels in your right arm. Now lift your left arm up. Ask your question. So palm facing me. Lift up. So reach, stretch. Shoulder can come up to your ear. And then bring your arm out to the side. So internal and external rotation. Bring your thumb down towards the floor. So point your thumb down and then keep rolling. So try to turn your palm up towards the sky and don't clench. So do soften and then turn it all the way around. Front of your shoulder towards the back of your shoulder. And then turn again. I think of it as a wringing out sensation. Turning the arm bones. And I don't know if y'all can tell from me, from my side and what you're seeing, but I'm struggling a little bit more with this side to not grip. I'm wanting to kind of hold it up. So this might be my, side that's a little bit weaker. Turn up, roll, feeling your bicep roll back. And then come back into internal. Could you turn your palm almost all the way up to hold a teacup? And then come back around. Yeah, this side for me is a lot tougher than the other side was. And this is my non-dominant arm. And then come back up. Lift your arm up overhead. So palm is facing towards the right. Lift up through the left side of your body. Take your right hand to your left thigh. You're just giving yourself a little bit of contact to say, I'm going to ground down through my left hip so that I can reach over to the right side. So press, but lift up through the left side of your body and reach. And it's okay if your arm needs to be out here. If that's a lot in your shoulder, you're welcome to bring a cactus arm. Take a full breath in and exhale. Come back up, release your arms down to your legs and just take a moment. You might need to roll your shoulders out if you feel a little stuck or tight. Move. I have a teacher that says, lotion for motion. So feel like you're moving or lubricating the joints before we stiffen them again. All right, so we're gonna go back to that crescent pose, do it a little bit quicker, but just notice how you feel. Bring your right arm up and over. And you could even take your left hand over towards the right side of your body and even feel like you're drawing the skin down from the side, but lifting up and over. Now notice if your right foot is getting light, press down into your right foot. And then the last cue I'm going to give you here is try to slide your right armpit back. Slide it back a little bit. You can look forward or you can turn your gaze towards the right side of the room. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, reach all the way over. Could you move a little bit more towards the left side? Come all the way up and relax. I get breathless even in that. Doing all of the cues and the reach, I start to feel a little bit breathless and short. So I'm going to lengthen my breath here. Take a full breath in. Exhale out, mouth or nose. Come back to that feeling of calm. And exhale. All right, let's do the other side. Left arm comes over. So sweep your left arm over. I'm just doing this for a tactile feeling. Right hand over towards the left side of my body. Press down with your right hand, lift up and over. Notice if your left foot is getting light, press down into your left foot, reach over. Take your left armpit, draw it back. So you're going to feel like you're squeezing your left shoulder blade in. And then you can take your gaze to the left or you can keep your gaze forward. Full breath in. And as you exhale, lift up and over. Really feel the space on the left side of your body. Come back up and release your hands to your legs. Why don't you shrug? So give me a shrug and then roll your shoulder heads back and down. Try that again. Shrug. Slide your arms back and down so that you feel like you're moving your shoulder heads even behind your ears. Feel your chest proud and lifted. All right, one more thing in the arms and then let's move down to the legs. Take your hands out in front of you. Interlace your hands up to the webbing and then turn your palms out. So it's as if you were turning socks inside out. Turn your palms out. Push with your palms towards the front or the screen and then lift them up overhead. So last one, best one here. Press your palms up to the ceiling. Go ahead and shrug. So bring your shoulders with you. And then see if you can slide your thumbs down a little bit and your pinky fingers up so that your palms are more flat. And then push. Push down through your feet, but up through your palms. Full breath in. Exhale, press into the floor and up to the ceiling. And then bend your elbows and release. Rest your hands on your legs. Good work. Big stretch. If your arms don't feel a little bit longer, I may have failed on that, but you should feel like you've got some length in your arms. All right, let's walk up to the top of the chair. Try to get almost to the edge, but make sure your chair isn't going to come off the floor. So keep the legs of the chair on the floor. Come on up a little bit. We're going to work on the legs. So lift your left foot off the floor. Lift the left foot and start to make circles in your ankle. Try to keep it lifted without any help. Go one direction and then the other. You're going to start to feel this, maybe in your hip flexor, holding your leg up this long. Bring your left foot down. Lift your right foot. Try to bring your thigh with you. Lift your thigh up, no help. Make circles. Going one direction and then the other. And then we're going to start to straighten our legs out in front. Don't worry about how high you lift. I'm not really concerned about the height of it. I'm more concerned about the tone and the way you're working the muscles. So lift your left foot off the floor and start to straighten your left leg. And when I mean start to straighten, I mean it may not make it to straight. So let's just work towards it. So working towards straight, reach out through your left heel, but flex your foot. And you might feel this right up here because that's where I'm feeling it. You can hold the chair as well. Reach out and start to lengthen. Use your breath. So take a big breath in and then exhale, draw in. So feel as if your abdomen is drawing in, your leg is reaching out, and your shoulders are reaching back. Tons of cues. Bring your left foot back down. Rest. Soften. And then let's take the right leg out. Again, go towards straight. Mine is definitely not straight. I've got a big bend in my knee. It's the best I've got. This is me today. Reach out through your right leg, flex your foot, press out through your heel, but draw your toenails towards you. So really feel the length. As you're lengthening out, your foot is drawing in. And then think of the cues here. Breathe. Exhale like a corset moving in and back. Shoulders back, lift up through the crown of your head. I'm shaking. My leg is going, woo. What's happening? Bring your leg down. All right, so we got a little bit of length. Now let's work on the hip flexors. Take your knees out to the sides. And you might have to do a little bit of adjustment here. You might take your hands around your thighs and draw your flesh back behind you so that you can feel nice and grounded in your chair. So I will just take my hands, grab some skin, and draw it back. It's just skin. And then you get a little bit more on your sit bones. Turn your feet out. So as you turn your feet out, you're automatically going to start to feel that external rotation all the way up in your hip joints. So we're making it work. Take your hands to the outsides of your knees and press your knees into your hands. Sit up nice and tall. And then those that are with me here live, they hear this cue so many times. If they could repeat it, I'm sure. Press down into your feet. Squeeze your heels together until you feel your inner thighs toning and turning on. So feet push into the earth and then isometrically draw your heels towards you. So don't actually do it physically, feel it. Take your arms up into cactus. Spread your fingers wide today. So waken up the arms, wake them up. Lift your elbows, tone your abdomen, draw your shoulder blades in. Awaken the body. All right, we're going to move a little bit in this pose. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze your heels towards each other, and then bring your left arm across your body and reach over with your right arm. So all the cues that you've already learned today are starting to come together. Push down into your right foot, lift up through your right side, and reach over. Try, if you can, to start to straighten your arm as much as you can. Slide it back. Breathe. Feeling the skin even toning on the right side of your body. Come up, cactus arms. Go back to the few cues I gave you. Draw your knees towards the wall back behind you. So open up, extend out through your inner thighs, push your feet into the floor, squeeze your heels towards each other, even draw your shoulder blades in, lift your chest. Feel like your elbows are on tabletops and you're pressing your elbows down, but lifting your chest up. Bring your right arm across and lift your left arm over. Push down into your left foot. Breathe. Feel the breath even in your hand as you breathe into your hand And then exhale, draw everything into the midline. You are strong. Reach a little bit further. Come back up. Elbows on your tabletops. Lift up through your chest. Spread your fingers wide. Push into your feet. Squeeze your heels together. Big inhale. Exhale. And release your hands down to your legs. Walk your feet in. All right. Same cue here. You might move the flesh from your buttocks out of the way so that you feel you're nice and firm on the chair, sitting up nice and tall. All right, we're going to add a little bit more movement, a little bit of a flow here. So instead of bringing our legs out, we're going to march. And you might feel this. And anytime you might cramp in the chair, just stop for a moment, notice, acknowledge, and then come back into it. So as far as marching goes, I want you to try to bring your knee up higher than your hip. So lift your left foot off the floor, flex, and come down. Lift your right foot, flex your right foot, lift it up, trying to bring your knee higher than your hip. Go back and forth. When one foot touches, lift the other. And notice if you're leaning back to make this happen, try to sit up nice and tall. So you've got your fold in your hips. It's not easy. In fact, I think the slower you go, the harder it is. All right, how about 2 more times? 1 and 2. Rest for a moment. And then we're going to add a move to this. I want you to lift the left foot up, left knee up, try to bring it higher than your hip, and then slide it out to the side, bring it back, kick it out in front, bring it back up and down. Let's try the other side. Lift, open, back to center, kick out in front, up and down. You will thank me for this later. You will think of me tomorrow. Lift, open, back in the front, reach out, lift, and down. Right side, open, back, kick out, up and down. One more time on each side. Lift, open, close, kick, back up and down. Last one, best one, we've got it. Lift, open, close, kick, open, and down. Let's fold a few times. Widen your feet as wide as your hips. We did that at the very beginning of class. I want you to widen enough that you feel like you have some space for your abdomen to breathe and to come forward and back. So open up, toes facing forward, lift your arms up overhead. Take a full breath in, lift your chest, lift your gaze back to where the wall and the ceiling meet, and then exhale. I want you to reach forward as you fold, look down towards the floor. Push into your feet, inhale, come back onto your sit bones, lift up, lift your chest. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bring your palms to your chest. And release. So that was a half fold. I'd like for us to try to go a little bit deeper. So take your hands to the sides of your knees and just fold forward, sliding your hands down to your ankles, even the outsides of your feet or your heels. And then come all the way back up. Inhale. Exhale, slide your hands down the sides of your legs all the way down to your heels. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Last one, inhale all the way back up. Exhale all the way back down. Hold the down fold. So stay down. Tuck your chin in. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Give yourself just a few moments of breath in this pose. Lift your chin out of your chest. Begin to look forward until you feel like you are lengthening from the back body. So lengthen forward and then press yourself all the way back up. Roll your shoulders back and lift up through the crown of your head. Walk your feet in a little bit more narrow. So you're sitting a little more forward, knees aligned with your hips. And you can even walk your sit bones back so that you are sitting against the chair. Take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Lift your head back up, crown of your head up towards the ceiling, and then lift your left ear up and over towards your left shoulder. And come back up. And then take your hands behind your head. You can interlace them up like we did before, up to the webbing, or you could just slide your fingers behind your ears. No gripping. So whatever feels better in your shoulders. We're just going to do a little bit of a stretch here. So the stretch that we did forward, I was hoping to stretch the back a little bit, tone the muscles, worked a little bit. This is going to be more about the front. So tuck your chin, look down towards the floor. Widen your elbows away from each other. Press your skull back into your hands. Begin to lift your gaze and just lean back slightly, feeling like you are moving from, say, your belly button up to your sternum. Lift. Take your gaze where the wall and the ceiling meet. Let your head be heavy in your hands if your hands are interlaced. Take a big breath in, widening. Exhale, draw all of that energy down to your navel center. Try that again. Breathe out. Exhale all the way down to navel center. Bring the crown of your head back up to the sky. Release your arms down. Lift your shoulders up. Draw them back and slide them down. Close your eyes or a soft gaze, whatever feels good for you. And take a few moments here, go back to a deeper breath, a thoughtful breath. So listen to it. Feel the coolness as it moves in through your nose. And feel the warmth and even the depth of the exhale as you move it through your body. Have some grace. on yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit. Give yourself a minute of your time to just notice how you feel. The way your skin can soften. The way the lines between your brows can soften. And maybe even the way your mood can soften. Lift your palms to your chest. I invite you in any kind of yoga practice, whether it's here with me, somewhere else, on your own, to just listen how the movement, the time that you spend, how it makes you feel. It's not rainbows and lollipops. It's not going to make everything better, but just notice how it can change possibly your mood, possibly physically how your body might feel. Just notice. It's a work in progress. Always changing and evolving. Take a breath in. Let it out. Let me hear you. We'll chant Om together. Inhale. Om. And we say to each other, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. I thank you so much for trying this class with me today. You are welcome anytime.